I'm gonna make you one very difficult question, and then I'm gonna make you two easy ones. Imagine that now we're gonna make a case study of a hypothetical company. We still keep Novara as a town for our headquarters.
Sorry for the people from Novara right now.
No, Novara, fantastic place. I've been there. A little bit too much like Modena in November, but I'm sure that in the deep winter and spring is fantastic. You have this company. You're turning over 30 million euro. You are healthy, good cash flow, good profit. No market, close to no market in China. How do you? I give you the keys, and I say, okay, Jacopo, in my vision goes through expanding and being important, relevant in the Chinese market. What do we prioritize first?
Number one, a physical strategy. So a real deck that tells you the fundamental, but tells you your vision for China. So if China you plan ahead and you put, let's say, goal, like any other country should be done, without the urgency of selling, because that's the problem. Company fail because they fail to believe in China within the process. So if you have that, if you put milestone in that deck, that could be opening distribution channels, of course, openings like online retails, opening a mini program, custom mini program, start to engage KOL, start to create contents on site. There are many activities, not one single activity. There is one single deck that has to be approved. And that deck, with the end of the deck, has an investment plan in terms of money and a timeline with goals.
Yes.
So if you have those goals precisely done, it depends on, for example, your brands might be 30 million, might be a bit tinier for larger scale thing. But, for example, what I can say, there is a lot of Chinese that traveling overseas, okay? So basically in Europe, in Italy, that love to buy or love to actually engage with the products in factories in Italy, for example. That could be a start, a mild start to engage and to get a conversation with the Chinese consumer. Those Chinese consumer, those KOL, micro KOL, they will bring back the world. You remember my case study was mentioned to Marvis, and Marvis was like on the stage during the...
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of case study to me, obviously, the director did an amazing job in Hong Kong and China. But at the same time, they were quite, honestly, lucky as well. So they were bringing, without knowing, products to China from KOL because their packaging and products were beautiful. So somehow that was a lucky coincidence, but then they work around brilliantly to create the awareness, to maintain the awareness, and to expand. So without creating an enormous amount of activities that are irrelevant. They plan properly. So they planning ahead, strategize with an investment, with milestone. It is the only thing to do.
Yes.
Without that, going for one channel, you might be unsatisfied because the return of investment of that channel is not enough.
Yep.
And then the question from the quarter will be, we went to this channel that you mentioned, and then you didn't sell it. Or you sell 2 pieces and it's not enough. So it's more costly than that. Then you have no excuses. All right. If you have milestone, if you have a strategy within the ecosystem of China and within a proper plan, then yes, you can work around. You can have. We saw it. We saw it with few brands in the last few years, in the last 10 years.
Can you name a few?
Well, there is an amazing brands, sport brands that we work with. That it was launching ski products, Rossignol.
I know it, yes, very well.
Yeah. So Rossignol did, to my impression, Simone did an amazing job actually. So somehow he managed to enter into a country where there were no ski, there was no snowboarding, there was no nothing. So he leveraged also the fact that we're Winter Olympic, but he managed to do properly. He managed to engage community. He managed to open resorts, in ski resorts. He managed to launch and he managed to engage consumers that were not, aware of this.
Yes.
In China, you talk about 15 years ago, people never actually wear ski unless you are a pro. Now, if you scroll WeChat moments, there is winter time. There is a lot of people in Niseko, a lot of people in northern China, a lot of people in Europe skiing, making selfies with these fashionable clothes of Rossignol, Barton, and all this cool stuff. There was nothing before. So why they did that? I still remember that day that we did an exercise in Shenzhen together. We did the strategy together. So we built up, obviously then Simone did an amazing job by himself, but we started with a strategy. We started with a deck, a presentation in a room, in an hotel room in Shenzhen, with understanding the market ecosystem, the marketplaces, the retail environment, first tier cities, second tier cities, target audience, naming, so messaging. We build up together with the brands a plan.
What do you have any idea what is the turnover of Rossignol now in China, roughly? No. Well, we have to check that out. I believe that what you just said is extremely important, and I like your reply very much. I think, going back to what I said at the beginning, I wanted to make questions that maybe were a little bit less fun and less conversational, but this has a lot of value, at least for me. So when we clip it and we share it, I hope that a lot of people will open their ears and open their eyes.
Yeah, I always try my best to engage even with conversation with clients. Is the only thing is like sometimes it's very difficult. You don't have time to get through that kind of conversation, that deeper conversation, before getting to the effective business.
Yes.
And this is where I think knowledge is power, right? So if you give them the tools, if you give them the knowledge to see it through, to understand first, then they will make better and brighter decisions. If you have a limited amount of knowledge, you will make irrational decision that will guide you to something that is nowhere the result you wanted to achieve, because you haven't put the result yet. You haven't put the goal yet, the milestone, the thing.
Yes. You are walking blind. You're walking in the mountains without a map. Yes. Yeah.
And believing these fantasies that I think, and this is a message probably for all the brands that haven't been yet to China. You believe in the fantasy that 1.3 billion people, there might be buyers. Yes, 1.3 billion, there might be a billion brands.
Yeah.
So